Drag X Drive. It's Nintendo's motion control take on wheelchair basketball. We all saw this when it was announced in the Switch 2 sort of launch set of trailers. It uses the Switch 2's mouse functionality to replicate the actions that you'd be using in a wheelchair to basically go up against 3v3 matches, all in this wonderfully giant, lifeless warehouse arena space. And yeah, it is a sort of, I don't want to say future sport, but it's a spin on the basic sport of basketball, or wheelchair basketball. And it did cop a bit of flack, I think, when it was first announced, up against so many bright, colourful, interesting Nintendo games. I've been really curious about this game since it was announced because I just genuinely wanted to know how it felt to play. It was one of those games that spiked my interest of how does this feel fun to play? And then also I realized I'm drawn to a lot of these kind of like smaller arena video game sports titles. I love Rocket League, Roller Champs, even Rematch, which is just that basic soccer take on soccer games. I really like these quick matchup, smaller sort of condensed sports games. So I was eager to give this a shot, even though I didn't hold out a lot of hope for it. The good news, I guess, is that the movement, it's not a gimmick. It does feel really, really cool to control, and it does feel very different and very unique in a way that I haven't felt in a video game before. There's quite a lengthy tutorial to get you to grips with everything you can do with the two mice that you're using, or the two controllers, Joy-Cons in your hands. And there's a lot of physics, and there are some extra moves in there that the tutorial doesn't even give you. It basically says, like, here's the basics. There are a few extra things here that you'll pick up along the way. Go and experiment and try and learn them, which I thought was kind of, interesting. I thought this would be quite dumbed down, but it is. There is a lot of the physics at play. The matches themselves they're really engaging. It's a small court. It's a very short amount of time. It's 3v3. There's no downtime in them. So the second you do match up and run around in the game, you are instantly like speeding back and forth with the kind of ferocity that you would see real wheelchair basketball. Like, it's a really fast, aggressive sport. And they're quite frantic as well. They're equal parts chaos for the control when you are doing it right. You're also just throwing your chair in there and hoping you might bash into someone and get the ball. So I liked that there is room to perfect this and get really good at it, but also you can just go into a match and just try and get in the way of everyone and cause some chaos in there as well. And I think what I like as well is that there's a whole bunch of bot matches that you can go into. There's 3 tiers of difficulty, each with, I think, 3 or 4 different stages to play through. So recently Rematch, that one I talked about really loving, it only has PvP. And I can't play it anymore. Everyone has gotten so good at that game that my friends and I can't casually play it. I do appreciate that there's bot matches here. I don't know if you can go in with a friend to the bot matches, but there are friendlies, obviously, and then there is just the PvP. You get thrown into a lobby arena. Right now, I'm just watching a game, waiting for enough players to be ready to go into one. So as much as the warehouse is boring and empty and not that interesting, it is cool that it is a play area. You're watching 2 matches happen while there's some mini games scattered around the arena that you can go and do to kill time. There's even... If there's enough of you waiting for a game, but not enough to play a game, you'll get dragged into an activity. So there'll be a race around a court, or a free throw shoot off, or a jump rope mini game that kicks off, which is annoying when you're like, I'm waiting to play the basketball game, and it's like, go have a race right now. And I was like, there's enough of us here to play a game. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, back to the controls, because I think that's the major talking point in this. They do feel really, really good. It's very different. It's different from anything else I've experienced.
Oh, no.
But there's nothing buggy about them. It's more just about learning to get good with them. And I think probably the difficulty that people will find in this game is trying to pick what their preference of how they play this game using the Joy-Cons. Do you sit at a desk using it in front of you? Do you use your legs, which it suggests doing? And it works really, really well for that. It doesn't matter, like, basically what kind of fabric you have, or like... it tends to work, it picks it up really, really well. There's no point where the character or the chair's wigging out and you're like, oh, come on, I was doing it better than that. It's more to do with just, you might get flustered and sit there as you're flailing about.
Is it exhausting?
It kind of is.
We could hear you playing.
Yeah.
It was...
It's noisy on the table, but it is all exhausting. I finished a match that I was playing, and my shoulders in particular, I was like, I don't use that part of my body when I'm playing a game.
I'm so glad I know that's... Because I didn't know you were playing that.
Like,
It sounded to me
genuinely
like he was drumming along to a
Yeah.
song on his desk.
I
Yeah,
thought there was
right.
a new drumming game or something.
no,
I was
no.
like, what is Gus doing?
It was noisy on the desk, so I did
Yeah.
get a mouse pad out. And that's why I can see, I think, a lot of people playing. Not many people are going to have a coffee table at the right height in front of a couch. I do think that gives it a really good reason to use in tabletop mode. So you flip it out, and you take the Joy-Cons off, and you sit there staring at the desk using it that way. So yeah, in that sense, I'm really impressed that the controls work, and people are clearly getting really into it and learning how to get good at it, because people are good. Negatives about the game, I mean, the big one that does stand out is the lack of personality when it comes to the overall aesthetic of the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, the characters that you're seeing here, the movements that you do, because the Joy-Cons do translate to your arm movements, so you wave to get a ball thrown at you, you clap at the end, you high-five your other players. It does look sort of daggy, and it's fun, and it does give these little characters personality, but I do think the idea that they've gone with this kind of stripped back, neutral, kind of future sport, empty arena vibe, I don't know if it was the right one. We all know Nintendo can do, can put personality into almost everything, and the fact that it is stripped back like this, it does make me think I'm playing a free-to-play game, and I think this could have gone that way, in the same vein of your Switch 2 tour. I think this would have benefited from being a free-to-play, not just a demo of how the Switch 2 can use mouse functionality, but a way to get more people on the online service or something.
I definitely balk less at a price tag on this than on the Switch tour
yeah.
thing.
thing.
Oh god, yeah.
Like this
yeah.
this is a game and it
game.
looks fun.
Yeah. I think it's mid-priced for a Switch 2 game. I think it's roughly
$30.
$30 Australian.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Look, the annoying thing when it comes to the price tag thing for me is that I don't know if I'm going to get enough friends on Switch buying this to play with me, and which is 2. I don't know the friends I have who have a Switch are going to buy this and play this.
Yeah.
Unless, if it was a free-to-play, it'd be quite easy to get everyone involved. And then you could
Sure.
go ham on the cosmetics if you wanted to, and a battle pass and all that kind of stuff to dress it up if you think it needs it. I know promoting that model is a little kind of controversial, and some people do feel differently about it, but it feels strangely sort of anemic when it comes to
Really?
everything around it. Even though, as I said, there is those mini games and there is that stuff there. I think I'm gonna play this and go through all the bot matches, and then I'm probably gonna put this down. I don't think I'm gonna rush back to play online games, and a reason for that is people got good at this quickly. I went into a game and it's really easy for people who are playing it to just be ball hogs and not teammates. And I'm waving, I'm passing, and people are getting it, and they've got all the bling and all the upgrades that you can get, because there are cosmetics. They're pretty basic. They're like different helmet styles and stuff. And they are just taking the ball and running. And it's I've never felt more left out since grade school of being I'm open, and they just go through the middle and try and get a dunk. And you're like, I don't know, maybe that's just the 5 or 6 games I played, but you can run into that quite a lot. There didn't seem to be a ranked system or anything that I could see, so but look, I'm still glad there are people playing this and playing it aggressively, clearly.
The thing is, it's such an interesting idea, and I feel like if it just... if Splatoon looked this grey, I don't think it would have such a fan base around it.
Yeah.
And I think if this had more of a Splatoon-y look even, just a bit of colour, a bit of vibrance to it, I think it would be a lot more exciting.
Even
for
just
people.
look like a basketball court.
Yeah.
Look like
Yeah.
a basketball court and have a colourful stadium around it, and suddenly because that's what Rocket League is. It's just
Yeah.
a turf pitch, but there's just window dressing of stadiums.
Yeah. I don't think
Easy
they all.
fix.
I like that they're little humans, that they are in wheelchairs, that they do look like the actual sport that they're sort of replicating. I don't think everything needs to be completely wacky and reinvented like arms or something. But I do agree with you, Peter. I think it's lacking that. Whether or not they're gonna, they can always update that, always bring it in. But for now, there is a fan base playing this, or there is a core audience that are playing this. So I guess that's positive. But yeah, the only last thing I forgot to mention is I really like that there's a modifier for the points. So it's traditional points. There's a 3 points zone, and within it's 2. But if you do tricks or dunks, you get decimals on top of it, which are kind of the breakers, that because basketball is quite famously a sort of almost drawn sport until the last few minutes. Whereas here it's like, oh, those couple of they're 20.6 points up on us. It does add up, and it can be the sort of the reason to risk it for some of the more advanced
Biscuity
moves.
moves.
For the biscuit, some might say. But yeah, Drag X Drive, it's an interesting game, and as I said, if you're just really keen to see how it feels, I would suggest giving it a shot because it is a unique experience that doesn't feel like any other motion control game I've played.
Is there a demo? There should be a demo.
There was, I don't know if it was a beta period that they were running it last 2 weeks ago, and I think that's closed, so I don't know if there's a demo. Yeah.
There's nowhere to try before you buy.
Potentially not. But yeah, if it spikes your interest, go have a drag.
Go spike
and/or-
some B-balls.
Go B-ball, drag,
Give it a
and/or
drag.
drive.
As all the kids are saying.
That's what they're saying.
I
Yeah.
believe.